Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, Coach B Harb. I'm excited about this one. It's my first video here on YouTube, and I thought it was only right that we do it on the Packers. Love the Packers, they're my favorite team, but I'm super excited about their defense this next season, especially because of their performance in the wildcard game against the Eagles. Obviously, offense, 3 interceptions by Jordan Love, fumble on the first kickoff. Not the best way to start the game, but the defense came to play, and I'm excited to break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to start off on the first drive of the game, which obviously comes off the opening kickoff fumble, and they're put in a deficit on their own 30-yard line, 29-yard line. But the reason why I want to include this is because the physicality that the Eagles show, I thought was going to be a theme going forward in the game. Had me worried when I first watched it, but I just wanted to show that the defense in the beginning was getting pushed around. Watch the left side here get pushed all the way to the second level, allowing Saquon Barkley to even get moving. Missed tackle by Valentine. Saquon Barkley, 12-yard game, first play of the game. It's a shame we lost Slayton to the Bengals in free agency because his performance in this game was impressive, made an impact on many plays. Watch Slayton right here with Kenny Clark hold his ground, keeping the offensive line off the linebackers, and then eventually sheds off the block and makes the play. Here's it from another angle. Watch Slayton's get off. He's going to just sit here and drive right into the center. Doesn't allow him to drive into him, holds his ground, gets a solid base, and then keeps his eyes where he's able to see where the running back is going, sheds off the block, and makes the play. This next play is exactly why we need to focus on the defensive front in this upcoming draft and hopefully maybe make some plays in free agency or a trade, because Jalen Hurts basically just sits back in the pocket and just waits for someone to get open. No one in the front four is able to get off their blocks. Coverage holds their coverage for a good little minute, but it's basically impossible to do it for that long. All right, 7-0, second drive of the game. First play of the drive is just a zone play, picks up about 3 or 4 yards. Late shift by the defensive line messes up the blocking assignments, and even though they get a little bit of push on the front, defense is able to collapse in on it and make the stop. Second down of the drive, the Packers are in a cover 4, which means Valentine's got the deep fourth of the field. Eagles respond with a comeback route with A.J. Brown. Nicely executed pass concept. Valentine made a decent attempt at getting back towards the ball, but ultimately it was just a good design play. First down Eagles. The Eagles are going to ground and pound. They're going to Saquon Barkley up the middle again, but watch Quay Walker on this play. As soon as Walker recognizes the run play, he shoots the gap. Look how low he goes against Dickerson's block. Closes the gap before he can even seal it off. After a quick out to Goddard on a second down, now it's 3rd and 4. The Eagles are going to send Saquon Barkley in an orbit motion, looking to catch him out there in the flat, and watch Bullet as he fights off the block and is able to get to Saquon Barkley before he gets into space. He fights the blocker to keep his outside contained. He gets his head in front of Saquon Barkley and finishes the tackle. All right, start of the Eagles' third drive now, and the Eagles are going to be running a pin and pull sweep here. Shoots the gap, but he isn't able to make a play in the backfield. McKinney takes a poor angle after the A.J. Brown block, and now you got Saquon Barkley in space. Here's another angle of it. Like I said, Cox is going to shoot into the backfield. Edrin Cooper takes decent angle, but he gets picked up by the pulling center. Right here, we want to see McKinney get flat on his pursuit, go for the contain of Saquon Barkley, get his outside shoulder, but instead he gets to the outside. Saquon Barkley is now on the loose for the 17-yard gain. I like the play design by the Eagles here on this next play. They're going to do a fake jet motion with A.J. Brown, but they're really just doing a read option. Jalen Hurts reads Rashawn Gary, pulls the ball, and now he has a lead blocker of A.J. Brown, and he gets a 15-yard gain. The Eagles are going to run another jet motion that turns into a lead blocker right here, but this time it's a sweep going to Saquon Barkley. Valentine does a good job of holding his contain, and then Evan Williams comes in from over the top and fills the gap perfectly. Here we got it from a different angle. Watch Cox swim over Mulata's block and squeeze down the guard. Him and Wooden are going to keep the offensive line off the second level linebackers, allowing them to scrape over the top. Walker's able to scrape over the top and fill the inside gap, and then you got Williams coming over to the top, reading Saquon's blocks and seeing where they're leading him, fills the gap, makes the play before Saquon Barkley's able to make a move. Second down now, the Eagles are going to motion out Goddard to the outside and then run a quick screen to him. Packers do a great job of recognizing this play and having 4 people quickly pursue him and cut off the play before it gets started. The Packers give up the third down on a third down run up the middle. The Eagles run Duro, getting a bunch of double teams up the middle, but Cooper is able to fill the gap for the short gain. The Packers give up another first down and a cover 3 to a quick out to Devontae Smith. All right, so back against the wall, inside the 15-yard line, first down Eagles. The Packers put 7 defenders up at the line of scrimmage. The Eagles are trying to run a slip screen to Saquon Barkley, but Jalen Hurts gets the rush in his face and is forced to throw it away early. I'm not 100% sure where Jalen Hurts was trying to go with this ball. I think he maybe sees a cover 2 and is trying to hit the zone in between the safeties, but he doesn't have enough time to really make that read, but he's missing the open Devontae Smith in the flat. Hurts is late on his progression and is forced outside of the pocket and ends up throwing the ball away. Third down now, Saquon Barkley is going to move to the other side of Jalen Hurts. That's going to cause a shift in the defense, and that's going to mess up the Eagles' blocking assignments. Here's another angle of it. McKinney's going to follow Saquon to the strong side of the formation. And here comes Cooper again, busting through the line, not letting Jalen Hurts get his read, and forces the ball out early. This red zone stop leads to an Eagles field goal try, which Elliott knocks through. 10-0 Eagles. Alright, fourth drive for the Eagles here, and the Packers defense really starts to find their groove here. After a first down run and a penalty by the Eagles on second down, the Eagles had to replay second down, and the Packers get some pressure, forcing the incompletion. The pressure is going to come from Brooks and Van Ness. Brooks is going to do a stunt over the top of Van Ness's block, looping over the top and getting to Jalen Hurts, forcing him outside the pocket, and then a bad throw. Third down now, the Eagles are going to try to run a split zone. The Packers put 6 defenders up at the front of the line of scrimmage, with McDuffie and Cooper pulling out right at the start of the play. Both McDuffie and Cooper do a good job fighting over the top of their blocks and then pursuing the ball and making the play, forcing the Eagles punt. Start of the fifth drive for the Eagles here. They're looking to take advantage of the Packers' quick penetration on a play action, but the coverage does a good job of holding all the receivers over the top, sticking to their man, and then the rush forces Jalen Hurts outside of the pocket and closes in on him and makes the play. Here's another angle of it. Goddard's motion over to the other side of the formation causes a shift in the Packers defense. They run a play action similar to the split zone they had run earlier, but Wooden does a great job of ripping through the center's block, forcing Jalen Hurts outside of the pocket, and McDuffie forces him back inside, making Jalen Hurts slide before the big hit. Second down, and here comes Slayton again. This one seems like more of a missed blocking assignment by the Eagles, where the center passes off the block to no one, allowing Slayton to get a free release right at Jalen Hurts, forcing him out of the pocket, and a throwaway. It is now third down, and Jalen Hurts is going to try to use his legs to pick up the first down, but the defense recognizes and collapses on him before he can pick up the first. Good job by Walker and Gary collapsing in on Jalen Hurts and forcing the punt. It is now the sixth drive for the Eagles, and the defense is back out on the field after the Zach Bond interception. The Eagles are going to pick up a quick 6 yards on a run up the middle with Saquon Barkley after the defensive line slants to the right, leading open to a wide open gap for Barkley to run through. Second down, the Eagles are running mesh, looking to catch Goddard over the middle, but with quick recognition and maybe an early hit by Williams, he knocks out the ball, leading to the third down. On third down, the pocket collapses on Jalen Hurts, forcing out a bad throw as he's trying to catch AJ Brown on the quick slant. The Eagles try to get the Packers to jump off sides on 4th and 4, but leads to a false start, forcing the punt. Now we're starting the second half, 7th drive for the Eagles offense. The Eagles are running a fake jet motion, trying to catch Saquon Barkley up the middle on the zone run. But the Packers front four do a good job of holding their ground, not getting driven back, and then holding their gaps as Saquon Barkley looks for a hole. On second down, the Eagles run another split zone. The Eagles do a good job double teaming Kenny Clark and then making a big hole for Saquon Barkley to pick up the first down. First and 10, the Eagles run another split zone, but this time Van Ness does a good job spilling the kick out block. Slayton gets great penetration in the backfield. Valentine gets cooked by Saquon Barkley on the spin, but the defense is there to collapse on the run in the backfield. Second down, I'm not sure what Jalen Hurts' read is right here. It's to cover 3, and I think he's looking to try to get Walker to bite on the inside curl, but Walker stays home, taking away Jalen Hurts' quick read, making him indecisive, leading to a sack in the backfield. Third down now, the Eagles are trying to catch the Packers on a quick draw, but the defensive line does a good job of not penetrating too far upfield. Brooks does a good job of holding his ground against Dickerson, and then Wooden makes the play in the backfield, forcing another Philadelphia punt. Alright, this is the start of the 8th drive for the Philadelphia Eagles. They run another pin and pull to the left, trying to get Saquon Barkley in space, but Cooper does a great job scraping over the top and making the play for a minimal gain. Second down, the Eagles are using a bunch to the left, trying to create some space up the middle for Saquon Barkley, but Walker does a good job filling in the gap, getting a grip on Saquon Barkley's jersey and taking him down. This third down call might be the most important third down in the game. The Eagles run a play action flood, looking to use the Packers' quick penetration against them. Hurts boots out to the left and then finds Smith wide open on the dig for an Eagles first down. 2 plays later, Packers show a zero look with man coverage across the board on the outside. This man coverage is going to get the Packers burnt, going against Goddard on a quick screen. Valentine gets physically outmatched, getting pushed around all the way into the end zone. On the 9th drive of the Eagles offense, the score was 10-16, and a stop right here, the Packers could change the game. But to make a long story short, the Packers defense looked tired and could not get off the field when they needed to. The Eagles eventually kick a field goal to make it a 10-19 game, proceeding to Jordan Love's 3rd interception of the game, closing off any attempt of a comeback. And while the defense was unable to get a stop when we needed to in the end, the energy they came out to play with against the eventual Super Bowl champs has me excited about the next season. With Cooper, Williams, and Bullard having great rookie seasons, and with vets like McKinney, Gary, and Clark, I'm excited to see what Jeff Hafley and the defense has in store for next season. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like this type of content. I'm excited about starting this channel. Please comment below if you have any ideas or breakdowns you want me to do. It was a super wildly disappointing wildcard weekend, but I'm excited to see what the Packers have in store next season.